What up YouTube, Case Primer back at you with another video, and this is also the first installment of HorrorFest. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, HorrorFest was something I did about 4 years ago, where all month of October I reviewed a bunch of Halloween-related and horror movies. It was a tradition I wanted to bring back for a while, but certain things got in my way, disabling me from making it, plus I didn't have enough stuff to review. This year, I've got a bunch of movies, really, that's all I'm gonna do. I've also got a couple of masks, or just one mask, that I might try to review. But I've got a bunch of movies here that I'm going to review. One of them is the subject of this video. The others will come as the month rolls along. So, let's get started. Today, I'm going to be showing you something that... Now, I'm going to be reviewing all the movies in this franchise, but I'm going from order of least favorite to favorite. So, if you say, no wait, you should have done this one first instead of this one, calm down. I'm doing them in order of which I like them, from least favorite to favorite. So this one I'm reviewing now is, I think, the worst in the franchise. So, let's get it over with. We are going to be looking at Saw 4. That's right, Saw 4. Saw 4, clearly, for all of us Saw fans, we know that this is, without the shadow of a doubt, the worst in all 7 films. Why, though? Why is Saw 4 so bad? Well, let me tell you. First, this is set, like, within a few hours after the events of Saw 3. Jigsaw is dead. Jeff Denlin has killed the guy, and his wife is dead, unfortunately, who was keeping him alive. Amanda's also dead, leaving no heir to Jigsaw. This movie mainly focuses on one person, and one person only. Commander Riggs, or SWAT Officer Riggs, who, in the whole time he's been on the force of the Jigsaw case, he has had a bad habit of trying to save everybody, and going through doors that aren't tested safe. So he's the one who's being put on trial in this movie. I mean, he thinks that some people are still... I forget the person he thinks is still alive. Oh, Detective Matthews. He thinks Detective Matthews is still alive, and he thinks that there's a bunch of answers or questions he needs answered, and only taking down Jigsaw will solve. Why is this so bad, though? What makes Saw 4 so bad? It seems like a solid storyline, right? Well, that's partially correct. But what makes this movie so terrible is that they bring in characters that we don't even know, that we don't get introduced to until we see them in this trap, or in their traps, and there's no other mention of them up until that point. I mean, look at these, for example. Saw 3. Danica Scott. She saw the car crash. The judge presiding over the case. The dude in the rack, Timothy. He was the one who was in the car. They have connections. The people who are tested in these traps, no connections whatsoever, and not even a backstory. The only real backstory that Saw 4 has is that this tells us why John Kramer became Jigsaw, as well as his early beginnings, like the first few traps that he developed, as well as, you know, just a bunch of stuff. This movie will answer a lot of questions about the beginnings, but other than that, it's crap. On the cover, says Unrated Director's Cut, Saw 4, It's a Trap, and there you have Jigsaw's severed head from the autopsy. On the back, you have, is that? Detective Hoffman and the scale. Says, An Intense Nail Biter by Ryan Rotten of ShockToYourDrop.com. An Intense Nail Biter, that's a damn lie. And there is a read up here which says, when SWAT Commander Riggs is abducted and thrust into a game, the last officer untouched by Jigsaw has but 90 minutes to overcome a series of demented traps and save an old friend, or face the deadly consequences. Definitely short bios. It also says, the scariest, most suspenseful Saw movie yet by horror.ca. Also a damn lie. Special features include audio commentary with director Darren Lynn Bozeman and actor Lyric Bent, audio commentary with producers Oren Kills and Mark Berg, and executive producers Peter Block and Jason Constantine. Darren's video diary, The Traps of Saw 4, The Props of Saw 4, Saw 4 music video by X Japan, bonus deleted scene, 16:9 widescreen, 5.1 digital Dolby Digital surround sound, English and Spanish subtitles, and English closed captions. So when you open this up, a clear slip cover. There's a little excess from the tape when I first bought this thing. And you can see the disc is just a, I'm not even going to take it out, but as you can see, it's a bloody red circular saw. And there's also a little flyer for the official Saw fan club with props, autographs, memorabilia. All of them actually come with one of these forms. And the number on the film just progresses with each film. As I said, Saw 4 was the absolute worst in my opinion. I mean, I watch it just for continuity's sake, but really, this thing is terrible. It is a god-awful piece of crap. I really just like to pretend that this one doesn't exist. I like to pretend the ending with figuring out, like, where Jeff gets killed and we find out Hoffman is the next disciple. I wish that they had put that in Saw 5 instead. Like, they just got rid of this completely and said that Saw 5 was Saw 4, and 6 was 5, and that 7 was 6, basically. That this never existed. If I could go back in time, I would tell them, don't make Saw 4. Just scrap the idea, go with whatever idea you had for Saw 5. It'll be a hell of a lot better. So, I mean, I would not recommend this movie. I mean, if you want to complete all 7 films like I did, then I would get it, but if you just want to say it looks interesting, don't go with this one. Go with all the other films. Any of them. 1, 3, 6, 7, 5, 2, whichever. Anything but this one. This one sucked so bad. I guess that's about it. Later, guys. I'm out of here.